Hello everyone, welcome back again. Welcome to a rainy Lancashire. Welcome back again. Welcome to a rainy Lancashire. Oh, it's so lovely today. Yesterday, brilliant sunshine. Today, when I decide to film outside, pouring down. But we're hardcore. I'm in my jumper. I don't need a coat. I'm from the north. We're fine. We're out in all weathers. But, whoa, hello, Poppy. Oh. Next door's dog having a visit. Poppy, try and take me gooseberries. Poppy. And I've just realised that you've got a lovely view of the septic tank there. What a lovely image that I've a dead palm there and a septic tank on that side. I mean, I couldn't have chose any better really, could I? I might have to move you. Shall I move you? Shall we go somewhere else? Go on then. Right, so I'm just getting some jobs done at the very far end of the garden now. This is a bit of a messy area. It's been left for years and years and years and done nothing with. But it's had loads of pots with palm trees in that have just been left there for, like I say, years. And they've been okay up until now. They've done really well. But this past winter, they've just not enjoyed it, the -9, especially with being in pots as well, where the cold's obviously affected them a little bit more. So a lot of them have died. But there are some that are still okay, so I'm starting to pull those out, and I'll either repot them, because they are a little bit root bound as well now with being there so long, so I might repot them or plant them in the garden somewhere. But it's a really decent sized area down there as well, so it'd be good to actually utilise it. So messy area down here. It does go back quite a way. I'll just go and show you. So as you can see down here, all of these were palm trees. Now I'll show you some I've pulled out already. So as you can see, these ones are okay. So I've just been, what they do need, I put a little bit more compost in the pots, but they are root bound, so I do need to, repot them or plant them out. Looks to get shut off. I don't know where the shears are. I was going to relax. I went in, it's Saturday night. I was going to sit in and relax after being out in the garden all day. But I can't stop. I keep coming out. I'm absolutely loving it. So it's just been left to go wild as this area. And I've just been cutting off the dead fronds of the palm trees and just making it a bit tidier. Oh, the snails hiding in that one. Loving it down here. As you can see here, these are the ones that I've just pulled to one side that are okay. Looking lovely. Some of these are protected, sort of hiding right in the back of them all. That's some nice palms there. Like I said, it's just never been touched. It's never been touched, this area, so it'd be good to actually finally do something with it. We've got some lord and ladies, some cuckoo pipes down here. Really sick and growing sick. I'll just easily pull out, see, it's just rotten inside. Unfortunately, very bendy. The roots are dead. It might be okay because there's a little bit of green on it, so I'm going to keep things like that. That might recover. Anything that might recover, I'm going to just leave anyway, just in case. That one might be okay as well. I'll leave that one. Things like that. Definitely dead. I found a bit of old blue tubing as well, so that'd be handy for the plot. But as you can see, these palms have died, and I'm just checking the centres just to doubly make sure that there's nothing actually going to be growing back again, which there isn't in here. And you can feel it very soft as well, so it's definitely not going to come back again. Pot's absolutely fine, so that'd be perfect to use for the veg. So I'm just going to take that out. Some nice compost in there actually, but I'm just going to put it on the pile here just to sort out later. Just empty them. As you can see, it's all rotten. Some nice little worms enjoying that. Compost can be reused in the garden. Absolutely fine, those. Decent pots. So right at the very far end of the garden is this metal fence that has collapsed, and it goes quite a way down there. But it was like that when I moved here. It was a bit of a state. So I need to. That's another project to do. I need to do something with that as well. But I love having projects to do. It's just getting round to them. So this is the rickety old den. As you can see, the roof's collapsed, the floor's probably collapsed now as well. We've had it years and years, and they're just too big for it now anyway. But obviously it's all collapsed with all the storms and things like that. It's just, and obviously with it being old anyway, but this is just a normal sized den that you buy, and then just raised it up with some more pieces of wood and put a ladder on the side and then painted it, and they've absolutely loved it over the years. But like I say, it's just too small for them now. My kids are like that now and a lot older, so that's another project, so that needs pulling down. But it would be nice to create some kind of space for them to to enjoy now, and like I said, maybe a summer house, something like that, with a bit of a games room or something. But it's a really nice area. But yeah, that's another project to get on with. A few bottles down here. I'll just get my glove on. Yeah. It's broken there. Try and get that one out. It's probably not old, is it? Right, got my little thingy. I'm going to have to try and dig it out of my hand. Ooh, worm there. No, I don't think it's old, is it? says something like that. What's it say? Smirnoff. Right, so it's not that old. So what I'm doing around the back of the den is just creating a huge compost pile. Every year I just put, you know, grass clippings, although I have been using some in the plot this year, but the grass clippings, bits of old branches, you know, cuttings, prunings, things like that, have all been going in this pile here, and it rots down every year and creates some good compost. So I've just been putting all the palm fronds, things like that, which will take a longer time to decompose, with them being a bit of a sturdier frond. But I've just been putting everything down there just to rot away. I'm going to empty these now, these pots. The pots that are still okay to use, I will reuse. If they're broken up, obviously I'll have to get shut of those. But a lot of them are actually in good nick, so I will carry on using them. Oh, I've been out all day and I've forgotten to open the polytunnel door. It's red hot as well, so it's going to be... Let me see if I steam up. Try and open it. Oh my god, it's that hot, it's all expanded. Right, let's have a look. Oh my god. Oh my god, it's so hot. It's steamed up as well. God, has anything survived in here? Blow me back. You know, they're all wilting a little bit. Right, I'll show you what temperature it is. Oh, my goodness me. Dear me. Well, everything's sort of okay, is it? So I'm just going to gently prise them apart. They tend to come away quite easily. And then each one, I'm going to go in there like that. And then I'll just put some sail around it. So here are the purple sprouting broccoli seedlings that I've taken out of a bundle like this and popped into these little seed cells. I'm going to be doing them with these are the normal Calabrese green broccoli as well. I'm going to do a few of those. I've got far too many, but we will do a few anyway. The purple sprouting broccoli, if you're only going to do one broccoli, I would suggest doing that because it's always been a really good grower. Sometimes it's been quite hard work to get the green broccoli to grow a large head, but the sprouting one, I had loads of it out there. Last year, it was year before, tons of it, and I was just picking it every few days, and there was so many of it. So if you're going to give it a go, try the purple sprouting broccoli. So I'm going to take these now. So this is Calabrese early. Just going to shove that in there for now. So I know that all these are the purple ones, and then I'm going to do the green. So I'm just going to prise them apart nice and gently. I've seen some videos where they're saying just rip it apart, rip it apart, throw it about, they're absolutely fine. But if you damage all the roots and you snap all the roots off, they're not going to be fine. So anyway, each to their own. If it works for them, it works for them, but I like to be nice and gentle with my seedlings. So it looks quite tough, this soil, but it's good to actually get a finger hole in them. I'm going to plant them as deep as I can do in these, because they are only shallow as well, and as you can see, they're quite tall already. So I'm going to try and plant as far down as possible. So I'm just going to pull these out. Come on, quite easy. They've been watered as well. So one of them bundles did all of this, and there were 50 of them, so I think that's quite enough. I think I've oversown because I've got loads of other ones as well. So this is the quince tree, and as you can see, it's just starting to blossom there. Lots and lots of flowers on this one this year, so hopefully we'll get a good harvest of them. It was the first time it's ever fruited last year, and I've had it about 7 years, so it's obviously happy. So I'm right at the far end of the garden, and here is the old ancient gnarly apple tree. I'll show you in closer detail in a minute, but it's probably about 200 years old. But every year it does so well. It's a lovely sort of weeping apple tree. It makes this lovely archway, and you can just walk through it into sort of the woody area. It's really lovely. But there's so many blossom on it at the moment, and it just grows thousands of apples every single year. It does so well, and I don't do anything to it. I just sort of leave it to do its own thing. Now, I've no idea what kind of apple this is. I've tried to do some identification searches online of it when I've had apples in summer, and I've tried to check what variety they are, but I've absolutely no idea. But they are a bitter apple, so it's not an eating apple. It's obviously some kind of cooking or cider apple. I really would like to know what they are. This is what they look like, and as you can see, they're sort of mottled a little bit. They're bright green, a bit mottling, a bit sort of stripe to them, but they're quite small and a little bit pointy at the bottom. But yeah, I don't know whether they're small because there's just so many growing on the tree, or whether it is just a smaller variety of apple. And also it's thinking back when it was actually planted, what kind of varieties were around then as well. It is quite an old property. It's 200 years old is the property that I live in, so we're at Georgian time, aren't we? So I'm not sure what kind of varieties were around then, but I love it, and it's got loads of little babes, as you can see, just popping up there. So I've got a cup of coffee this time. Not a cup of tea, I've got a cup of coffee. I've just had a cup of tea, and I need a bit of energy. I was up, well, I'm always up very late, but I was up very late last night and up very early this morning, so I am shattered. So I'm trying to have a little bit of a boost with coffee in a Christmas mug, just for that added cheer. This lime tree, oh my goodness. The blossom on it is I can't even describe the smell of it. You walk in, it's beautiful. It really is beautiful. I can't even describe what the smell of the flowers are like, but it's just so strong, and it's lovely. So hopefully we'll get a few limes on that this year. It did really, really well last year. I think I got 4 or 5 large limes, and I think there were 8 still more on the tree. But what I'd done is I'd left it out, so it was been outside in summer, all summer long, and then when it started to get a little bit cooler I brought it in here, and then when it started to get really cold I started to panic a bit and think, oh, it's going to be really cold out there, so I took it inside the house. I mean, I'd have everything in there if I could, just like wrapping them all up in blankets and all like, sat watching Netflix of an evening. But anyway, it's I took it inside, and it was looking a little bit, because I work, you know, I keep forgetting to water it with it being tucked out of the way inside, but it was looking a little bit, you know, dodgy. But it's perked up so well. I took all the dead leaves off and it's perked up really, really well. And there was 8, like I said, 8 smaller limes left on it. But what I'd done is I was a little bit late in hand pollinating them, but they actually pollinated, but because it was too late in the year, they just didn't have enough time to actually get to a large size lime. I did the rest of them. So, but I just used a little paintbrush, and I just go on each little flower and just hand pollinate like that all the way around, which I'll be doing with this again this year, and I'll be a bit earlier this time. And then that will try and guarantee you're getting some limes, because you never know if any bugs are actually going to get into pollinate these. So you might as well just give it a little bit of a helping hand. I do it with the aubergines as well, and I do it with the tomatillos if I'm growing tomatillos, and tomatoes as well. So I always go around, just have a little bit of a painting session like that, and bit of pollination going on, and just to try and guarantee that you'll get some fruit, especially if you, like I say, indoors as well. So we're on 18 degrees in here today. The difference is dramatic. I'm sure the plants aren't going to be appreciative of one day 60 degrees and then the next day 18 degrees. It's so dramatic, isn't it? But they're like that every year, so they should be okay. So that's it from a very wet and windy Lancashire. I hope to see you again next week. And if you haven't done so already, if you'd like to like and subscribe, that'd be absolutely fantastic. And also, if you want to watch any of the previous videos, there's lots of things going on in those. And it also helps me try and monetize this channel, which is what I'm trying to do as well. I want to try and monetize it, try and bring some pennies in so I can feed my children and keep warm. So if you'd like to do that, every little helps, as a well-known supermarket says. But thank you again for watching anyway, and I shall see you again next time. Bye.